What's up?
Hello.
What up? How are you? How's your day going?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm alive. I'm here. Um, we are placing an offer on a house in like an hour and a half.
Oh, sick.
So I hope we get it. That would be nice because I currently live with my parents after years and years and years of not.
That's so fun. Hopefully your parents aren't sick of you yet.
No, no, I think they would rather we stayed even longer, and I think that's because of my daughter.
Haha.
Yeah.
That's funny. Are you guys moving like pretty far away or just like around the corner?
Actually, pretty close for the minute. If we get the house, if not, very close. The room next over.
Nice. I love
Yeah,
it. Well,
it's
that's
fun.
fun. That's exciting. When are you ramping up and getting packed and everything? That should be coming up in the next week or two, huh?
Um, I tend to pack like the night before, regardless of how long I'm going for. It's kind of a thing that my wife is not particularly pleased about ever, but
I think
it's just kind of what happens.
we're similar like that. I'm really good at just getting my shit together really quickly.
Oh yeah, like it's not as though like it's weaponized incompetence where she's left waiting. Like what tends to happen is she packs for 4 days, and then I pack like an hour before going to bed the night before we leave, and I'm ready first.
Yeah,
So you know we recognize our strengths and our weaknesses. I'm a very quick packer.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, Kylie gives me shit because she just won't pack anymore. She'll be like, if you want to pack quickly, you do have to do everything.
That's a weird that's a weird one because I would then just go okay and then pack my stuff. And then like, it's a strange ultimatum. Either you pack for both of us or you don't. Okay.
He
Um.
said, shut up.
Oh, sorry, Kylie. I didn't realize she was listening.
It's a snow day here, so she's not at school. She's
God,
working from home.
I didn't even know she still went to school. God, she looked so old. Hi.
She's a teacher.
Older than a child. Than a child. Not like
She
old,
teaches.
old.
I'm a teacher, Ryan. Cahill.
Are, are we sure? Are we sure?
Hmm.
I love that. That's how I know I've won the scenario because like I don't think I've ever said something to Kylie and she's not had a quick snapback. So as soon as there's like no
I'm trying to
snapback,
be
I was like,
professional on Nathan's call. Trying to be nice and not flip you off.
that's okay. That's okay.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, we got a lot of fun. I have some questions in here. I don't know how you want to do this. I do have a few random questions for you. Um, but I'm just genuinely excited for you for this tour. I think it's going to be super awesome. I think a lot of people are going to show up for you, and I think it's well deserved.
I'm like, yeah, I'm very, very, very excited and very, very, very nervous. Like it's a strange one because like book events are so weird. Okay, because it's not like a concert, all right? It's strange. People like are paying for books or for tickets to just sit there and listen to you speak. And then like, it's different. It's strange. And I have like this nervousness in me, especially because like I'm not paying for me to go and do things like that anymore. Like at the minute, like for this tour, like my publisher is. And so there's like this weight of expectation of like I hope I don't let them down. Or if I go to an event and there's like six people there and you're like, ah shit. We don't messed up.
That's
So
fun.
yeah, we'll see.
I bet it is weird because, I mean, what's the timeline? How long ago were you just a scientist? You were like a biochemist before, right?
Yeah, like I launched in March 2021. And then I was like working then until May. And the only reason I quit my job then was because we were moving to New Zealand. And it's just that COVID hit New Zealand later than everywhere else. So that COVID hit New Zealand 6 days after we got out of the 2 week enforced quarantine.
Wow.
So I couldn't look for another job. And it was then, fuck it, I'm just going to keep writing. And and then yeah, never really looked back.
That's
So
crazy.
it's been wild, like especially going talked about this before, like going from like my first like event, like a panel at a convention, to what was Dragonsteel Nexus, and to this tour. Whereas like in my first event, nobody has a clue who I am, and nobody like there's like a few people, mostly other authors, and then like nobody is there to stand in line or say hi afterwards or anything. It's just like, oh, cool, go on, panel's finished, and then now it's all this craziness. So it's very strange.
It's almost like how I experienced your books as well, like very exponential jumps from like your first book to your second book. I was like, this is exponentially like way better. And then from like book 2 to 3, I'm like, this is crazy. So it's similar to you with like your work experience as an author, going from like just
Yep.
your little garage writing and selling them out one by one to exponentially at Dragonsteel, and now you're going on this world tour. That's super exciting. I feel like you're handling the pressure well, but I can only imagine how crazy it must be
I
for you.
think I think Eminem said it best. He's like knees weak, palms are sweaty, just vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous from the surface. He looked calm. It's
It's like something
yeah,
Dick would say before battle.
yeah. I don't know. I just there's moments of like complete and utter fucking overwhelm, and then other moments of like, okay, I can do this. You know.
That's awesome.
So it kind of it comes and goes.
Cool. Speaking of being a like scientist and being in that world with your work,
Oh,
when are you
Noah,
releasing?
I'm so sorry. I saw Noah there. I just needed to say, look, I know this is a this is a Utah video and cursing and everything else, but fuck you, Noah. Sorry, carry on, carry
I'm
on.
in North Carolina. We can swear on here. I've already
Oh
sweared a couple
yes,
times.
yes. There we go.
This
There
is
we
not
go.
Utah.
Fuckity fuckity fuck, Noah.
I might have grown up in Utah. Um, you're a scientist, so when can we expect a sci-fi series from you?
Different type of scientist. But yeah, it's one of those. I've talked about this before. It's like I've always wanted to do like either like a Halo style sci-fi or like a space opera style sci-fi. And I feel like I can't touch it until Pierce has finished Red God, because you have the two big modern space operas, which have been, you know, Sun Eater and Red Rising, and there's obviously loads of other sci-fis, like amazing ones like The Expanse and stuff that go way further into hard sci-fi. But like two kind of space operas, and they're just so massive that if I wrote anything, and if a POV was male, and if I dared to use first-person POV, which is copyrighted now by those two authors, I wouldn't be able to escape anything. So I have to wait for stuff to kind of finish. I have a lot of stuff going on anyway, so that's fine.
Fair enough.
Um,
Fair
but I
enough.
think like creating a little bit of distance before we do something like that is worth it. But I never know when I write it. Like when this series is finished, I'm probably just gonna write loads before I release something. Like, depends how everything shifts and goes. But my plan is to just go neck deep in stuff and try and write loads of different things and have a bit of fun.
Nice. I'm excited for you. I think it'll be cool. Whatever you do, I think you'll have a lot of support.
I hope so. That'd be great.
Um, some people were asking earlier on any timelines for books when they're being coming out with book 4. I mean, sorry, with the next novella. I think I
Yeah,
saw that on Kindle August 31st of this year. That's
yeah. So I have August. I'm already like 30 odd percent through it now. I was working on it right before this call. I've just hit like 1,000 words for today, so far, and I'm getting through it now. And the August timeline was just kind of mostly to take some pressure off my back. Sorry, I have a heater on here, and it doesn't really go from cold to normal. It goes from cold to way too fucking hot, way too fucking quick.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so hopefully the book will actually be finished quite a bit before then. But whether it comes out or not kind of depends, because I would like to get the audio recorded. Um, because for the last novella and the last novel, I really want all the formats to come out at the same time, so that there's no readers left lingering just because of their choice of format.
Yeah.
Um, it's something that has happened with the other releases because, the time gap between finishing a book and having the audio recording done can be like significant, especially for the longer books. And so sometimes it just seemed crazy to have a finished book sitting there for like 5 months, and these people who've been waiting can't read it because a
Yeah.
format they're not even going to read isn't out yet.
Yeah.
Um, but for the last two, I don't want anyone like being unable to finish it while the rest of the readership are talking about it. So yeah, and then for book five, like I am hoping my target is for 2028. Um, it's one of the even if it's finished sooner, it's not going to be released sooner, just for that exact reason, for getting the audio recorded, everything else. Like with that kind of length of a book, it takes a very long time. Um, yeah, it's just one of those. I think there's been slightly larger times between each release so far. Most of that has been due to increasing word count. Um, but this time around, it's like I think I'd rather not kill myself between 2025 and 2028, and I kind of have run myself into the ground, run myself ragged with how much I've been writing for the previous like 4 or so years. That I feel like I've earned a minor step back. Like I'm not stopping, and I'm only slowing a tiny bit. Um, but I wanted, especially with my daughter being born, I wanted to kind of take some time so that, like, if I go into the living room and she's playing and I choose to play with her for 2 hours, that it doesn't like destroy me mentally because I'm now behind on all my deadlines. I wanted to give myself a little bit of freedom.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you feel like there is pressure when you transitioned from like indie to trad, or do you feel like that alleviates pressure for you to like hit deadlines? And you might have a different scenario with Broken Binding Publishing, because I feel like with indie, and this is just my, I've never wrote a book or published a book
Yeah.
opinion, but I feel like when you're indie, it's probably a lot better. You can do whatever you want with timelines. It's just up to you to get things out and published. But I know with a publisher, you have a second opinion in there and a second person driving things forward. So it could be less pressure, it could be more, but uh, I don't know. Do you feel like they've been cool to work with and their processes are better than it was with Indy, or do you feel like you regret? I imagine you
You
wouldn't
see,
regret.
it's a strange one, right? Because my scenario is so unique for multiple reasons. So, one of the reasons being that, like, they're not waiting on the next book because they still have all the other ones to publish.
Yeah.
Sorry, Siri decided to turn on. I'm not talking to you, Siri, but so they're not waiting, and so like these books are coming out, and like the fall is already set for June. Like the next book's there, so their timeline is not slowing. And then at the same time, like because it's a thing that I've kind of tried to push on anything I've been talking on recently is that like I'm not trad in that sense, in that I'm really cautious that I don't want people to conflate this concept that um the end goal for my path was going indie until I got trad. All right.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely not what's happened. Like all my ebooks are still indie, So it's a print rights deal.
Yeah.
Um and so yeah, there's trad there and I am part of it, but it's hybrid. Like it's for me what I consider the absolute best of both worlds. I have my freedom and flexibility of indie and controlling my story, while I have access to bookstores and backing from a publisher that really wants to see it do well. It's a really unique situation that I'm very privileged to be in. And I'm sure there will be more pressure as we get further on towards the end. And the pressure is going to be in like the editing. Like I'm pretty sure they want me to have turned in the edits. So like the editing is light. And we purposely did that. We didn't want to do any heavy editing at all. We didn't want to dull the sense of journey that happens, not just in the story, but for me as you move forward. I'm also conscious. I don't know. I on my end, I think all the comments have like completely frozen. That or nobody is saying anything.
I'm seeing
But
comments pop up.
oh yeah, so I'm seeing nothing. So I think they like completely froze on my phone, just in case
That's okay.
people are like asking me stuff, and I'm like ignoring everyone.
We just
Um,
got will we get a POV from Farda's coin?
oh, we'll talk about that at some stage. But now I'm choosing to ignore. But yeah, so like I'm pretty sure the edits are expected to be due in 7 days for book two, and I haven't started them. So they will not be in 7 days. And it kind of just is what it is at the minute because I'm trying to catch up with a million things. I have this tour going on, and which ended up being much larger than we had initially thought, in the same way that like the print run ended up being much larger than we initially thought, and kind of everything ended up being much larger than we initially thought. I think we were thinking it was going to be like a few thousand print run, and I was like, look, I will sign every single first print that comes out because I want to see this do well. And then like, okay, so we're getting estimates in, and based off the algorithms and everything we're looking at here, we're looking at a print run of about 40,000 plus. And I was like, you suck a fucking dick, because that is not what I was expecting. But I had made the commitment, and so we did it. And so everything's kind of taken longer because everything's been larger. So it's just going to have to wait. And that's just the reality of these things.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And I think the thing that I love about your fandom is that I feel like we are all very patient and understanding. I think it's what separates the broken binding, or the bound and the broken like fandom from other fandoms, is that it is so community driven, and you are very connected with fans. So
Yep.
I do think like if you were to say, guys, we got to wait like 20 plus years, or I'm going to ghost you, I think everyone would be like, thank you, Ryan.
I don't know. I think if I was looking at my 21st layers, I'm pretty sure I'd be shanked at the next convention I went to.
We track you down.
But I feel like there is no. I feel like there's part of it is differentiation between indie and trad, in that like people tend to view trad authors with a celebrity sense, and they tend to view indie authors as far more accessible. Like, it's not like that just carries true for everyone. And there's plenty of trad authors who are very accessible and very out there and have very strong communities. But generally, indie authors tend to be viewed as my brain didn't work there. Tend to be viewed as far more accessible, and I think that helps with community building. I
For
think
sure.
when you're at that ground level and you're talking to people and you're seeing them and you're answering their questions as much as you can. I feel like I answer a lot less questions now than I used to, because like I know Ariana, who's in the Discord, was giving out to me, because actually still haven't opened up that DM. Sorry, Ariana. She was like, "I'll check your DMs." I'm like, I woke up to 400 notifications this morning, like more than 400. So like sometimes I just wake up and go, like there's nothing I can do. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. It's a full-time job. Like as soon as I start touching it, like even posting on social media, I'm realized shit, like 3 hours are gone, like of my
Kylie,
writing time.
Kylie's got Valeris for you.
Ah, you are one of the only cats I like because you're cool.
She doesn't like us.
She's very avoidant of us, but she is white, so I called her Valeris.
I'll take it. I will take it. This is like she is avoidant of us, as like Kylie tries to give you the cat, and the cat just leaps across you.
Yeah. Do you want to answer some questions?
Sure.
Cool. I think that I can do this. Cool. Hi, Ryan. When your books will be available in Brazilian Portuguese, any publisher contact you?
Yeah, I actually got an email from Brazil only like last week. So we'll see. Was the general question. What tends to happen with these translations is it's very little to do with me. It just tends to be a case of either the books start to get popular in that language, or in that country in English, or in, say for instance, in the German case, there was like a contingent of German readers who just kept attacking the publishers, and now we're hopefully close to announcing something, and that's all because of fan driven stuff.
That's
And
awesome.
that's a massive goal in this. And so I'm kind of just waiting. Sometimes a publisher will reach out. Like for instance, like 6 German publishers contacted me on like one Monday, like a year ago, and all took manuscripts. And then a year later, I heard back from like all of them,
Wow.
as though they were all sitting in a room together and emailed within 2 days, a year later.
Seems like the German way.
Yeah, so it's really hard to know when something like that's going to happen. It can be real quick, and someone can go, "Hey, I love your stuff. I want to do your books. I want to be in this language. Done, signed, money, great." And then another one could take a year. So hopefully something soon.
Cool. That's awesome. This person wants to know if you have a playlist when you're writing, and if you do, what helps immerse you?
I have like 50 playlists. It massively depends. Like I have I have a playlist of different videos, like of ambient music that all suit where my brain is at the time. So like I was just writing an Eltoire section and I'm listening to like a Darth Revan YouTube mix of like
Ah,
moody, dramatic hero in quiet contemplation. I have one that's literally just rain. So sometimes as a trick, if I want to remember, like if they're fighting in the storm or there's rain happening, I will literally play rain or storm on ambient music on YouTube so that the surroundings and the environment is always present in my head. So when I'm writing, I naturally then start including those things instead of having to go back later on and do it because like I'm listening to it. So it's like I'm standing in it. So
that's
there's
super
loads of
cool.
different things, loads of epic music, loads of slow music, loads of inspiring music, and it really depends on. For me, it's like if I have those vibes in the back of my head that they come out easier. Like sorry, I just got a
DC Mod.
no, I haven't seen Mod. I got a message.
Oh,
I got a message from my agent about this German deal that I was just talking about. It
breaking
just
news.
popped up my screen. Hi Mod.
Mod says, I'm confused. This is a reasonable hour with 2 question marks.
This actually is a reasonable hour, and in Mod's defense, I was actually shocked when I kind of went back and looked at what time it was. I was like, shit, this is actually like 5 o'clock. This is a normal daytime interview. Like if Maud sees this, she's gonna make fun of me.
I mean, it's like the
And
morning for Mod.
yeah, but so what usually happens is every time I'm talking to Maud, like on stream or anything, it's like 3 a.m. for me.
Yeah,
And now I don't know. I think she thinks that maybe I'm a normal person,
we won't give her that
which
satisfaction.
obviously is not true.
Uh, okay. Any character is inspired by real life people that you know.
And kind of, not really. Like I tend to try and just fully form the characters on their own. And then like I'd say a lot of different characters have tiny, tiny fragments of me, like parts of my sensibilities in some way or another. Um, but I tend not to base the characters on people. Like there's characters that I've Tuckerized, like John Gwynn dies in book four. And stuff like that. And Petrick dies in book four, and he dies like a little bitch. Um, and and those things. But the character traits from those people never really come over. I don't know. It's actually not something I consciously did or didn't do. It's just it just kind of happened to be how I wrote. You know. Sometimes some of the sensibilities of characters will come from the things that people have said, like some of the some of the kind of core beliefs that like Vars.
That was,
Yeah,
ooh,
is it? It could be the North Carolina internet. You never know.
blame it on us. Sure.
I wouldn't mind. I actually have my North Carolina Tar Heels hoodie, and I'm not sure. I think it's up my room.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, I was like, oh, I'll definitely wear that to this stream, and then I forgot. But this is actually a piece I'm wearing. I'm wearing like a hoodie that isn't actually out there yet.
I got
Oh,
my
we're both wearing them.
I got my merch on too.
Go team.
Shameless plug. This is actually one of my favorite shirts. It's so comfortable.
I had never heard of Comfort Colors, and then apparently all the Americans love Comfort Colors, and I was like, all right, sweet, cool.
I wasn't familiar with them either until I got your shirt, and then I like, huh? That's okay. Yeah. So I really
Just
love.
Kylie making fart noises in the back, is it?
She's trying to get me off my game. It's a great shirt, and I love it. So I'm like, babe, we got to order more stuff. They're super good.
No, yeah, there's more stuff there as well, and like even this, I was testing out the art prints, because I don't like to just put stuff up and like be like, oh, buy this thing, and I have no idea if it's good or not. So anything that goes up, I tend to order. So we got these like gallery quality art prints, and so I've just ordered one to the house, and that's it there. And I was like, this is good.
I
This
love
has
it.
come out well. So I'm gonna have some of those up soon. A lot of the time with art, it's complicated because like it depends what rights you own to be able to sell those kind of things. And
Yeah,
even when I do it, I tend to only I take commercial rights, but I allow artists to continue to sell the prints themselves because it's a bit silly that um I can keep earning money from my books, but they can't earn money from their art. So I got to make sure that they can sell them as well.
cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I think I'm not an artist, but if I was, I feel like I would really appreciate that. But cool. let's get back into some questions. A random one that Kylie
Yep.
had. Kylie really
Uh-oh.
wants to know, what is your favorite swear word?
Oh, Thundercunt.
There you go.
Yeah. Just right there.
She's dying laughing. All right. Next question.
Had that one loaded. That was in the barrel already.
Are you proud of breaking people's wallets with so many special editions out on the market?
Proud is a word. See, it's a weird one because in my head, I'm like, part of the reason that we kind of tried to get all these editions was accessibility. Because we had issues where people are coming along and they're having to drop $1,500, $2,000 on a special edition of the book, and so we're like, let's try and see what we can do and increase that accessibility, so the people aren't left that way. And if it does happen, because eventually some special editions will run out, it's like, look, at least you had a long period of time to get these. And a lot of them are like really high spec. Like the Broken Binding Endless one, the first print of that is really high spec. Like it has the gilded edges, it has the two-way ghost edge, it has full color chapter headers and stuff. We didn't have any full color actual art pieces in it, only because the full color part was kind of decided a little bit later, and with timelines we couldn't get new pieces illustrated. Well, it has Smithsonian binding and acid-free paper, and like these books are like legitimately, if you bought them normally, they'd probably cost closer to $100. So I'm pretty happy with it. And the general idea is really funny because I've seen that before a few times. People are like, "Oh, there's too many editions of this book," and I was like, "You don't have to buy them all. You know, like part of it is being able to choose which one you want." And then some people want to get more and they use them as art. Like people display books as art all the time. And then I saw one or two where it was like, he's getting all these editions because he's a white male. And I was like, someone needs to have a chat with Sarah J. Maas, because I have nothing. Do you have any idea how many editions of Fourth Wing there are? Like with Rebecca Yarros? Like, I pale in comparison to the Romanticy girlies. Like the amounts of books, the amount of the same book coming out there, even right now, new editions of Fourth Wing are still top of the charts. Like, I'm okay. I'm happy.
I love it. Okay, I have a fun question. This is one I came up with, not Kylie.
We'll find out.
I'll go. I have a few to line you up with, but if you had to fight to the death with these fantasy authors,
okay,
who would win? Sword fight to the death. Number one, Sanderson. Who would win?
I'd win.
Abercrombie.
I'd win.
Robin Hobb.
I'd definitely win.
Tolkien.
I already won.
Then you're not gonna like this answer either. Robert Jordan.
Yeah, I think like if they're already dead, I won. So
this
like
is fantasy.
It's win by default. It's win by default.
Let's say they're all alive, and in their prime.
I'm standing there and you're giving me these names, and this guy is just lying cold on the ground with a sword in his hand, and it's like 3, 2, 1, fight, and I'm just like stabby, stabby.
Is there anyone that would beat you? Jay Kristoff. He's probably bigger than you.
Jay's bigger, but I think I'd be quicker. John Gwynne would obliterate me. Christopher Rocchio would beat me. Like, it was interesting.
I saw his sword form. I saw his sword form at Nexus.
I was talking to Christopher Paolini after we did the lightsaber duel, and maybe like a couple of days afterwards, and he just sends me a text, and he's like, "Why didn't you tell me that Christopher Rocchio took 4 years of fencing?" Like, he didn't look like it, but that dude is light on his feet and he moves like a tiger.
Yeah. He absolutely went to town. That was such a funny video. I was dying.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Any other questions I have that I want to ask? I did want to talk about the trading cards. I think that is fascinating. What's the process about that? And did you have any reasoning on why you wanted to do trading cards?
These are the booster packs. It's
They're
so cool.
cool.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of bits. It kind of started when I know like Christopher and a few others had been doing trading cards, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. I like it. And I'm kind of a go hard or go home kind of person. So I was like, Oh yeah, trading cards. That's cool. That's cool. Sweet. So if I'm making trading cards, why am I making a trading card game? And then obviously, that spiraled. And then you realize that if you want to do a set of trading cards that are about 300 cards, that is in or around $450,000 worth of art. Um, People don't realize how expensive art is. And so all of a sudden I was like hip deep in this trench, and I was looking around being like, well, if someone had told me how deep I'd need to dig this thing, like we might not have started. Um, but yeah, it kind of grew legs from there. And like the two guys who are designing it have worked as like lead designers on like Disney's Lorcana and the Horus Heresy trading card game. They know what they're doing. They're very, very cool. And at the minute, what it's meant is that I get to commission loads of art. Um, that helps bring the series and the world to life that can be used for a million other things. And it can also be used for like readers' imagination. And started doing it through the Patreon with trading cards has really allowed it to be possible because I can fund a lot of pieces. Basically, the Patreon goes directly towards funding the art. Um, you know, Depending on how much I'm taking in, like I could be funding 3, 4, 5 pieces of art a month just from Patreon, which adds up. Like it doesn't cover everything. The hopeful ideal would be eventually we get to a stage where it is covering everything, um, for the development at least. But like it covers a lot, and it's really fucking fun. And I used to play Pokemon trading card game and Yu-Gi-Oh, and I never played Magic, but I had like followed it for a long time. I followed the art and how cool it was, and some of the cards, but never actually played it because I don't know. I think of the circles that I ran in, especially in Ireland, just was not big. It's not as big as it is in the States. But I got to play it. Funnily enough, I my first time playing Magic the Gathering was with Daphne, who owns Illumicrate and Daphne Press, and Bryce, who runs Wraithmarked, and Frankie, who's one of Daphne's employees. And like that was my introduction to Magic, where they all taught me how to play Magic, which was really really fun. Um, yeah, I just love it. I love the fact that it's lore driven and that it's narrative driven and it's like stories in picture form. Like, I love everything about it.
That's super cool. I'm excited to see the game and play it eventually.
Oh, me too. Like, I'm excited to have a finished piece that I'm able to play.
I love it. Will the future of Furion series still be self-published as well as traditionally, just like you said of Gods and Ashes, the truth will be?
Yes. So everything all depends, right? So for me, I want to keep the ebooks indie for sure. Especially in that world, just because like there's no reason for me not to. Um, I earned the vast majority of my money from the ebooks. Now I've been lucky that I've earned a reasonable amount through different formats as well, which helps make it a career. Um, but the ebooks almost certainly. And then the thing about the print is it's just so much more accessible for people when that's through trad channels. Um, so like I would hope that this series does well enough that I can keep doing it the way that we're doing it now, that we can have that bit of both. And I think it's an interesting one. I was talking yesterday to Jake from Nerd Level Rising, and Jake is so cool. And we were talking about like the different editions and how people kind of are saying, "Oh, hey, like with the fall, are they going to have like matching editions for everything?" And that's trying to explain like it's not as simple as people think it is because a lot of those editions are done by bookstores, and especially because it's a novella and it's like the first novella in the series, a lot of bookstores would be kind of hesitant because novellas don't typically sell well. They don't really stock them, put them on shelves. So part of it's self-fulfilling. Um, and so like they need to see proof that there's demand for this. So it's like a catch-22 where if the orders for the standard don't come in, they won't produce the specials. So like I'm almost sitting there being like, guys, buy it, then cancel it if you need to. Okay. Like buy it, special comes, cancel the first one, get the special one, amazing. Um, because it's just the way it is. Like we didn't have that obstacle the first time because people didn't know how many of the different specials were coming out. But it's a weird scenario because I'm used to being able to control whether or not things get released. But with these bookstore ones, like with the Toppings edition and Inkstone and Waterstones, it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. But yeah, there'll be a bit of both for everything. There might be series somewhere along the way that goes fully trad, but like I'm not leaving indie anytime soon. Like, I don't want to. I don't plan on it. I really enjoy publishing on that end of things.
That's awesome. Yeah. As long as I have the completed sets, that'll be good. I'm still waiting because I got paperback all Sun Eater right here, and then I got the
Yeah,
hardcover. So I'm like, man, I need to get either all hardcovers or wait until the paperback comes out to make it look all nice.
I'm a personal hardcover person. Like myself, I prefer hardcovers mostly just because like what you pay for lasts longer. The binding types and the paper and everything, like it lasts longer. Like I can take them and pass them down to my kids and that kind of stuff and pass them on. Whereas paperbacks eventually will just tear in half. Like they're amazing, but yes, hardback wins.
I love it. Cool. Between the arts rights and the special editions, Ryan, you are such a mensch.
I feel like I should know what that word is. And someone's going to make fun of me for not knowing
Highly
this.
Google MEN. Oh, he's Googling it.
A person of integrity and honor.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's Max for you. He's got big words.
God damn it.
Ha. Here's a fun question. On a scale of 1 to 69, how much does he love and or fear the taint?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, I never even thought about that. And funnily enough, this is one of those disconnects where there's plenty of nods to Wheel of Time in the series, but that one wasn't intentional. It was actually an accident. And then I was like all the way through, and then like I actually published it before I even realized they were like the same word. And I was like, oh, people are going to give out to me for that, aren't they? God damn it. That and the fact that it's taint, God damn
Just a
it.
funny word in itself.
But there's so many things you're like paying attention to. And then those things slip through. The things that should be completely obvious is like, fucking god damn it.
I'm sure there's like a ton of things that like you never expected like people to pick up on that they did pick up on, and there's probably things that like you wanted people to like talk about and
Oh
they never do.
man, there's so many things. Like say for instance, you'll know because you've just read. How far are you in the Faithful and the Fallen?
I completed it.
You completed it, yeah. So instantly, people were like, I remember I saw a comment online. Sometimes someone was saying like, "Oh, you robbed everything from Wheel of Time." Like, look, your city of Camelin is obviously Camelin, and I was like, no, it's actually after one of my favorite ever characters, Camelin from the Faithful and the Fallen. So
Yeah.
like our own truth and our own perception is going to filter what we believe is like a guaranteed thing. And then I was certain, absolutely fucking certain, that people were going to start connecting soul blades to lightsabers, and never fucking happened. But they did start saying I stole them from shard blades in Stormlight, and
Yeah.
I only read Stormlight like 2 years ago from the Leatherbounds. I'd never read it, and I was waiting, and I'd ordered whenever the Leatherbounds arrived. I had like ordered the Leatherbounds, and I was like, I'm waiting because these things have so much art. Like I'm waiting to read Stormlight when the Leatherbound gets in, and it was the same. I haven't finished Words of Radiance because like I was waiting for the Leatherbounds for Words of Radiance to come in, and now they're stuck in a storage unit until we finally get a house. So it's all those different like disconnects. Like people will have their own perception of what objective truth is, and then they're like, "Oh, you definitely took this," and I was like, "I didn't." Like there's loads of nods and homages in the series. Like even like with the Aragon stuff, there is one actual intentional Aragon homage in book one, which is Theron's story in chapter 2, which was always meant to be an homage to Brom telling a story at the start of Aragon. That was something I wanted to do. I was like, I always try and acknowledge things that have had an impact on me, and books that have had an impact on me in the series in some way. But it's so funny, the things that come through and the things that don't come through, and you're just like the spoons.
Someone
Like
said that in the
like
comments.
the fucking spoons. Like I got this at Dragonsteel Nexus, right?
Well, great.
Like the fact that I said there's one line in the first book that says the wooden spoon of retribution, and that has followed me, and I did not expect it.
That's hilarious. I'm changing my tattoo idea. I'm getting a spoon.
You know what? I think if you did, you'd find support.
It would be a very niche but well loved and appreciated tattoo.
I don't know. I think you'd start it as niche and it would then become mainstream because Nathan got it, and Nathan's cool. Everybody does what Nathan does.
Probably.
Like I can already see Kylie in the background Googling spoon tattoos.
That's funny. Let's see. This guy says, what's up, Brian? For the event you're having with Pierce Brown, will he be in conversation partner or signing stuff as well? Thanks for coming to LA.
I legitimately don't know. I think Pierce actually hasn't texted me back. In the last one, which I'll pick a bone with him eventually. But so at the minute, I'm not sure. He's definitely going to be a conversation partner. But I don't want to speak for him because he might just be like, "Fuck this shit! I've signed too many books. I'm not going to sign anymore." He might be like, "Hell yeah, I'll sign like crazy because I love signing books." I have no idea. But we'll find out soon. Like we'll know. As a mod just put us like a
Yeah,
Mod actually helped. Mod helped arrange that event and everything. Mod's a legend. And then she's going off and she's going to go on this cool other thing tour that I don't know if it's been announced yet that she is, so I'm not going to say it so I don't ruin anything on Mod. But yeah, it's going to be a great event no matter what. But I don't want to speak for Pierce and say that he's definitely going to sign because I'm sure there'll be people that want him to sign there for 4 hours.
Which character do you see yourself in the most?
I don't have one. That's what I was saying before. I think there isn't any one character that I have like kind of self-inserted into. I think there's different bits of me, small pieces in each character. Like I think my sense of humor is in Dan, and some of it can be in Belina, and I think kind of Kaelin's like love for his family is very much there in me too. And then like with Haim, like there's part of that there's that brotherly instinct, that older brother instinct that's there in me. And then with Ella, it's kind of like the passion for the people that she cares about and her willingness to kind of just do anything for them. Um, is there? It all depends. I'm saying there. Oh my gosh, Maud's book club. Will you be going to the LA event? She was going to be there, but Maud. Maud let us down, guys. She was going to be there, and she's cancelled horrifically, and we should all make fun of her for it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think there's little pieces of me in each character, that's just kind of coming through. I feel like sometimes that's how I can get into the head of a character. I try and put a tiny piece there. She was going to moderate the whole damn thing, and then she didn't.
Lame.
It's very sad. So making fun of Maud is something that I think we need to do as a collective group.
Yeah. We can have a Maud character in book 5 and she'll just be the butt of all jokes.
Oh my god, we could kill Maud in book 5.
Just introduce her, one page, next page, dead.
We can call her Maud the Fraud. It'll be great. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
You said in a live, I think it might have been with Maud, speaking of, that you were talking about wandering and just sitting like in a part of the book where there's not much happening plot wise, but it can take chapters or pages. And
Yeah,
I feel like the general consensus, especially on like TikTok, the book talk space with our short attention spans, a lot of people don't like that. Um, as somebody who does, I'm better than everybody, but I love a good meandering, wandering scene. Like Wheel of Time did that really well for me, where you just sit with the characters and you get to understand like every aspect about what's going on. How do you filter that into your series, and why is that important to you?
yeah. I I think in general we've kind of gotten to a stage in society and in reading where we can only really live off very broad comments. And so, like, there'll be a lot of people who are like that. So we don't want it to go this way, or they want to meander, or do this, or do that. But I feel like every genre has its own specialty and its own way of doing things. And I think in epic fantasy, it's not just about like randomly wandering. Okay, it's about having freedom from just running from plot point A to plot point B like a runaway train on crack cocaine. Like I think taking that extra time, that's what is there in epic fantasy. It's why it's there. I don't like this kind of modern concept that we need to be just absolutely bulldozing towards the end of this plot. Um, I think I think there's a balance to be struck. I think if you're just randomly wandering with no intent or cause, um, that's where you can go wrong. But if there's a reason, like for me, the character can wander and taking that time to explore the world, but that and part of it isn't fully unintentional because I'm adding texture to the world. I want people to see the beauty that's in this world. I want people to see the depth that's there outside what's just on the page. And also just taking the time to like I don't know to feel it, to get lost in it. That's what epic fantasy was to me as a child. It's what it was growing up. It's what it is as an adult. It's how can you fully believe that this world can exist in your imagination and be real if you can't get lost in it? You know, if you can't feel it, breathe it, smell it, touch it, if if you can't do that, then how can you really get lost inside it? And to me, part of epic fantasy is about becoming lost. You
I
know,
love it.
it that to me is a core concept. It's a core pillar of the genre that I'm writing in. And so I think this whole idea of people having short attention spans and people not liking that meander, I think, it's just people who haven't been in that genre. Like, I think once they experience it and see it and read it, like the same genre there, like people who are like you're reading romantasy, now because of Fourth Wing and because of books like that, who they're coming from romance, they're getting a taste of what the romance was like with the dragons and the swords, the epic fantasy, and then they're also trying things outside of that. And it's a lot of the time we criticize things that we don't understand. Like a lot of men that I know criticize romantasy without ever having read it. And the same thing happens. You have a lot of people who read romantasy who criticize epic fantasy without ever having read it. And I think a lot of the time the preconceptions that we have are based off complete fallacies that we just made ourselves believe. And once we go and we experience that thing, our opinion can shift quite markedly. Just most people tend to let their opinion shift under the radar, don't bring it back up. And then later on, they're like, oh, yeah, this is a great book. So wait, weren't you slamming that shit for like 7 months? Um, yeah, like that's a great question.
Good, cool. Well, I want to be conscious of your time. I know you're busy. How much longer you want to go for?
Yeah, I can do 10, 20 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Let's got any more good questions here?
you definitely won't have any from Maud.
I saw Maud type something and I'd forgotten the question. It had something to do with Pokemon.
That sounds like Maud.
We'll skip Maud's question. What writing process do you try to hit a word count goal or days for the week?
Yeah, I usually try and hit a word count goal every single day. Like when I'm writing, like when I'm really in flow, it will usually be like 2,000 words every single day. And to this day, it has been 7 days a week as well. And that's kind of like people are like, God, Maud, we know you're right there. We're just trying to forget. I know that was me. Mods are great. I'm joking. But yeah, so it was 7 days a week and it's 2,000 words. And a lot of people would say that I'm a fast writer, and I would kind of disagree with that. I'd say I'm actually quite a slow writer. I just write very consistently. Like there's some people who can write 2,000 words in like 3 hours, and I don't think that's ever happened in my life. Like I could sit there for 8 hours and I'd get 2,000 words. Um, it's really not easy.
It's
For
like
me to hit
packing.
those
It's like
counts.
your packing metaphor. You're really good at just cramming them in whatever space of time you're allotted.
Yeah, basically, and yeah, I try my best, especially when I'm really gearing in to do this. Is that some people I have this thing that I kind of like have started living by the last 5 or 6 years, which has just been dedication over inspiration. So you know, whether it's coming to me or not, I'm hitting the word count.
Nice.
I could have to drag it out of my body, kicking and screaming, and it could take literally 10 hours to do
I
something that should not take that long.
I think there's like this, and again, I've never written a book. I've never like sat down and wrote a story. Like I've never done that. But I think like the preconceived idea is that authors are good authors because they have inspiration and they can just magically create the story in their head. When like the more like interviews I see and the more times I see authors talk about their processes, they're like, it's just consistency that matters at the end of the day.
I find outside of the outliers, um, Like there are outliers. There 100%. Patrick Rothfuss is an outlier. Is one of the only, but one of the only people in the world who can basically make an entire life's living off a single book.
Yeah.
I know there's two, but it's the name of the wind that like that lifted that. Like that's there. It does not matter if he was going to write for a day for the rest of his life. You know, there's going to be outliers who are like that. Outside of the outliers, I feel like a lot of the professionally, commercially successful authors are the ones who are consistent in producing and in releasing. And Maud is taking that right out of my head as well. Consistency for anything you want to be good at, gym, writing, content creating. So I've said that for a long time. And what tends to happen is, all right, we're in this weird space in society where we're balancing between what was and what is and what will be. So, you know, it used to be pull yourself up by your bootstraps, regardless. So you could have a bullet wound in your head and it'd be like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And then it's kind of at this stage of we are in like an extremely coddling place. And like anything, truth tends to lie somewhere in the middle. And you're not allowed to tell someone like you just have to work hard, okay, anymore. That's not a sentence because you know we just basically assume everyone's working hard and no one could be working harder. And it's not just that. It's just this concept that like, say for instance in the writing circles, there's a sentence, you know, write every day. And then there's people who make their whole personality about saying anyone who writes saying that anyone who says you should write every day is an asshole, right? And they're like, you know, they don't understand my situation, they don't understand this or understand that. And it's like, hold on. They're not saying that every writer should write every day or they're not a writer. What you're saying is writing every day is objectively better than not writing every day in the pursuit of a career of writing. Nobody in their right mind would tell Kobe Bryant to stop practicing basketball, right? If Kobe Bryant is in the gym every day, 4 to 6, all people do is make documentaries about how Kobe was in the gym 4 to 6 every day. You know, that consistency dominates every single field. Every field in the world is dominated by like freak level consistency and freak level natural talent that then requires consistency. There's very few outliers outside of that. I feel like you can work hard and never get lucky. Very few people can get lucky and keep it going without working hard. So a lot of people could some people can get really lucky, and that's just it's so lucky that it's just a one and done. But most people there's an old saying that luck is where opportunity meets hard work, and I believe that massively. You know, I could get lucky, but if I haven't done the hard work, it's not going to do anything for me. Like I'll have this one moment, I get lucky, my face is up here, my books are all public, everything's going amazing. But if I just sit back, then it will roll down a hill. You know, I think I took that off on a tangent, but yes, consistency.
That's okay. Yeah, you're. I think you're speaking a lot of truths that it's hard to hear, but I think the more that you do something, something is better than nothing, and
and
that's
that's
something
it.
I try to live by too. Is just doing something is so much better than doing nothing. And
Like,
so the more you put yourself out there, the more that you try, the more that you practice, you're going to get better eventually. And I think luck does play
absolutely.
a big factor into it. There might be people that might think, "Oh my gosh, you're an overnight success," when that took you 5 years.
Dude, I have had so much luck. 100%. I'd be the first person to admit it. But, you know, it's also probably one of the only positive things I'll say about myself is that I've worked fucking hard. You know, I worked hard to manufacture that look. Um, and there's plenty of people who have worked just as hard as me and haven't gotten that look, and that does happen. But there is another famous interview with Tiger Woods that I think is incredible, where they're saying, you know, you've gotten really lucky out here today. How are you feeling? It's like, yeah, I know, I agree with you. It's just so strange. The harder I work, the luckier I get. And obviously, there's a bit of conflation there. Like there is a look that's independent of that hard work, and sometimes you can either look, and sometimes you don't get that look. There's plenty of authors out there with books that could probably, you know, obliterate the literary world, but they might never be noticed. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't give it your all.
I love it. Well, I'll give you one more question, and then I
Yep.
can let you go. You go have good luck on your house bidding. Kylie and I we just binged the entire extended edition of Lord of the Rings. Kylie had never seen them before, so it was her first
Okay.
experience with Lord of the Rings. She wants to know what your favorite Lord of the Rings character is.
Growing up, it was almost always Legolas. 'Cause he was just so fucking cool. Like, even when you get to the films, like him sliding down the stairs on that shield is like, and then he kicks off at the end, and the shield just spears somebody. You're like, this is a badass motherfucker. But I also loved, is it Halmir, who shows up. He's not in the books, but he shows up leading the elves at Helm's Deep, and that was like this moment for me that's not in the books. That is like I just got one of those fucking pump the air moments where you're like, okay, these guys have come back. We're going to have a last stand. They're doing it together. And then also, I think from the books, Faramir. Faramir is a boss, and in the extended editions, you actually see a bit more of that. Like you see how Boromir got favored so much, and Faramir is a badass. Like you kind of forget even in the films that like Faramir is like Aragorn. Like these
Yep.
guys are descendants of the Dunedain. Like they're monsters. It's not really shown well enough especially in the non-extended editions. Like the section where you have Eowyn and Aragorn talking when she's made like food or whatever it is, and in the thing, and like she realizes that he's like 87. And she's like, whoa, you are the best looking 87-year-old I would climb all over. You know,
Kylie was not a fan of Eowyn. Don't talk about it.
I hate her.
all I know, she is way cooler in the books, but she would also climb Aragorn like a tree.
That made me
And
so angry. She was not a girl's girl. The whole time I was like, I can't have her on my screen for another second.
so who is your favorite character, Kylie?
Aragorn or Sam.
Oh, you're so
Kylie really
basic.
likes Sam. Kylie really likes
I
Sam.
love Sam.
Well, everyone likes Sam because Sam's cool as shit.
She was
Sam's
like,
the dude who
why
did
is he kind of hot?
He is kind of
Sam's the dude who did the group assignment, and Frodo's the guy who got the credit. Like,
exactly. I
and
was
it's
just
not
like,
even a hot take.
Frodo.
Like, that's standard internet take.
I just watched it for the first time.
No. I meant that as in like that's not a hot take. I didn't mean it in like that's such a silly take.
He
I
said,
meant it in like as
welcome
in
to the fandom.
that's a pretty well agreed take.
I just assume you're insulting me.
No, I would never insult you unless you weren't listening.
Okay.
See? Yeah. This is
Anyway.
great.
Well, it was great having you. I hope everybody goes and buys all of the special editions because we're obligated to, and show up for the tour coming up. This is going to be super exciting.
I am so excited for this tour. I really am. The North Carolina day is like, I can't remember where we are now, but like the tickets are pretty close to getting like finished off. There's a few places that still haven't sold as well as the others, but all of them are doing pretty damn well.
Yeah.
I think last time I checked, the Pierce event had 9 tickets left, which was very, very quick. And I kind of want to.
Sorry.
I kind of want to take a quick look when we're here right now and just see if it's gone, because we checked last night, and while I was on stream last night, that was when the Dublin event sold out. Yes, the Pierce event is sold out.
And everyone's buying tickets just for you.
Nobody's going for Pierce. That's what's great. Okay,
Who is this guy?
It's nothing to do with his hair or his boyish charm. It's just me, like completely and entirely me. Which is amazing. But yes, sold out. Go team.
I love it.
Would have sold out sooner if I was moderating. I don't know, Mod. I think look, we can talk about this. And if you really feel like it would have, then you shouldn't have bailed. This is Mod. You're gonna get called on this shit, Mod. But yes, it is sold out, which is fantastic. So that's another sold out post. Let's go team.
I love it.
Again, I'm just make sure to reiterate that's nothing to do with Pierce. I actually got an email saying, "Hey, great event in LA. Who's Pierce Brown?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no dragons in Red Rising.
Exactly. why are we dragging his name into this? I get it.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see you in a few short weeks, Ryan. I think it'll be great, and I think everybody else is very, very excited to see you all around the
Oh,
world.
is Kylie coming?
I'll drag her.
Okay, because I was just going to say I might need to get a picture for security to make sure she doesn't get in. But we'll, yeah.
Cool. Hope to see you. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Go read The Bound of the Broken, or I'll bully you. Take care.
Go on. See you, Nathan. See you guys.
Kylie says bye too.
Bye, Kylie.
Bye.